Well, what an episode, David.
hmm Yeah. Welcome to Rumble Flicker over the Green Screen for the review of episode 2, season 2 of From, called The Kindness of Strangers.
Okay, I mean, is it really more of a review? I thought it was more of a recap.
It's a review, a recap, our thought and our feelings about the episode as it goes, really.
Yeah, so with this episode, there was a lot of death.
Yeah, and I'm happy to say I was right. The episode would have been actually the entire night. It was pretty obvious, let's be honest.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious, and there was definitely some people who I, I didn't think was going to make it through the night, but they did. So,
And some people that I was happy to see gone, to be honest.
wow. Okay.
Oh, the acting was terrible. I am sorry, but the couple, the young couple, the acting was terrible, and I was glad to see them go.
Well, I mean, technically, we don't really know that they're
Oh, please, let's be, please, please, because the acting was actually the acting was American Horror Stories quality, which was pretty dire, let's be honest.
Yeah, not good.
True. But overall,
But
it was really, really good and really tense and really shows what the show can do when they actually really want to scare you.
yeah, this episode was so tense. I was really it scared me a few times.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, just we had talked about it last time. Just these monsters with these scary smiles are really, really scary and really, really unsettling. And where they were on full-blown motion this time, and yes, the
And
smile went
accord
out.
and according to the creepy guy that was chained to the wall, they're just the tip of the iceberg.
The tip of the spear. So he said that I think this important. I don't know why, but I have a feeling it's important to actually tip of the spear. There might be the soldiers or something for something else. We don't know what it
Yeah.
is. We know it's creepy.
Well, the guy was a marine, so now I'm thinking about it. This place does tend to love to get in its army people.
That's true. And as actually I was thinking about it. Okay, so obviously the boy, the sheriff, traveled back in time. Obviously.
Yeah, and
Now,
we still don't
when?
really know what was throwing that rope to him though. So
No, I know. This was weird, but I think might have been something they haven't thought about. I don't believe it's a secret. I think mm, they just messed up there. I do believe because I
come
don't.
on,
Oh,
sir.
come
I
on.
mean, this is a show where they're always putting in hints to something else. Do you really think that they just decided to just throw this in randomly?
I don't know. I believe so. But what I was trying to think about is okay, these Marines is actually have this tattoo. So we could think it might be from the time period from that character could be 1940s.
Well, I mean, I think you're kind of missing the big shocker there. He mentioned Boyd's wife by name.
I know, but I do believe that, are we going spoilery or not for that show?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're watching the recap, you've already seen it. But if you haven't, I guess now's the
Spoiler
time
alert.
to
Yep.
to leave.
Because there's one thing that we saw. He did say that these creatures that we see all the time are the worst that exist. And when Boy tried to save Martin, he was called Martin, if I remember correctly, we saw this thing crawling under his skin, these kind of worms.
Yeah, it was giving me green hell flashbacks.
Oh, please. This was, yeah. But the same basically, and looking back at season one with the character, the mad character was supposed to kill the kid. who could see these messages on the arm that could have been made by these worms, let's be honest. So the worm could be controlling in some way these people. So
Yeah, the Marine did say, "My blood is now your blood."
exactly. So for me, this Abby, when you mentioned Abby, it was actually not him talking, but actually the other people. But the thing that's actually kind of controlling what's going on in this place, I'm confused. I'm confused.
Well, at the beginning of the episode, when they're trying to get some of the people from the bus inside, two of the main characters were, they were screaming, they were yelling, they were like, "Come
Mm,
in!" And the people were just terrified, didn't really want to leave the bus or
mhm.
from behind wherever they were headed. And I'm sorry, I mean, that part was a little funny to me because they just walk up to the door and they're just like, "Come outside! It's so much better."
I know,
She was pissed.
I know. Or, or even like we knew that would happen. We knew that's going to be during the dark, and we know the dark is a scary part of that show. Is really the scary part. We also had pretty much one, two, three teams. There was three action going on simultaneously. So we had the situation underneath the collapsed house. We had the situation inside the diner, but also we had that situation inside that trucks in the
Yeah.
middle of the forest.
Well, let's talk
Mm,
about what happened at the diner. The guy who definitely wants to be the alpha male,
mhm,
decided that he wanted to take the sheriff hostage and go outside, and that is when our resident badass said, "You can go out there by yourself," or like he was going to shoot the sheriff, and then she was going to shoot him. It wasn't going to be a good time for
mhm.
anybody.
No, I agree. I don't know if you noticed this. One thing I've noticed, they had to explain the situation three times or twice in that episode, but we never actually saw the explanation. Twice. Like the people try to explain to that guy who just woken up, trapped underneath a house, what exactly is happening. And also the people in the diner. But we actually never saw the explanation. And I want to see the explanation. I want to know how they can explain this.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me, my simple explanation would have been like, things outside want to kill you and eat you. Stay inside. Inside safe, outside bad.
Well, might make me laugh is Mr. Alpha Male, which I hope is gonna actually get to him eventually, because the guy seems to be like the troublemaker this season. Oh, maybe he's gonna be working with them. We never know. I don't know. I have a feeling this character is gonna be a bit sketchy for the season. We will see. But it's a character I think we're gonna love to hate for the rest of the season. He said one thing, which is when they explained to him, "You haven't heard the scream outside?" He said, "Yes, we heard the scream. We never seen anything." And I was just thinking, okay, conspiracy theory much? And he's just like, okay, that was something.
Oh, and we also can't forget about the fiancés finding one another again, and
Oh.
how she was trying to explain to her that it's not what it looks like. And also, a footnote here: apparently, she's only 2 hours away from her hometown.
Hmm.
Um, if I recall correctly, in the beginning of season one, Boyd, when he was not Boyd, but the guy who stuck up under the house and his wife, with the kids, they weren't that far away from their home either. And I think so. I think this just happens to exist in some parallel universe, maybe. I don't know. Theory.
Well, if we think about the fact that the trees can make you travel through time and all time and space, and what stopped them is actually a tree on on the floor. Isn't the tree the kind of wormhole that actually bring this to that place?
Could be, but is it certain trees? I mean, is it
They're saying they keep seeing the same tree, apparently. Well, they see a tree on the ground. Everyone's seen that tree on the ground. So that tree is important. And we know the
Yeah,
trees can make you travel, so why not?
yeah. The bus driver is she's just not having any of it during this
No.
entire episode. She's like, "You can do what you want to do, but I'm going home."
hmm Yeah, but I think she's gonna need more than a mop and bucket to be able to clean up afterwards. Because damn, that was gory.
Yeah, that scene was tense. That's when we got the dude who was on this season's poster. Who, like, I'm wondering, since he was on the poster, is he gonna have more of a like antagonist role? I mean, I
Okay.
don't know.
I
Mm.
checked, actually, actually. There was some question I had. I was like, okay, have we seen it before? We haven't seen him before. And apparently it was in season one too. So it seems to be, but it's called the Smiler number three. So it doesn't have a name. So
Smaller number three, okay.
the creature smiling or Smiler number three. So we don't know. He's actually, he doesn't have a name, but is there, and it's always been there, smiling in the worst situations. Like we saw him pretty much in the forefront during the killing last season in the house.
Yeah,
Uh,
this episode had a lot of the, I'm not really sure what to call them, but they definitely took on full human form and creepy, smiling and
mm,
stalking everyone in the town because it was a joy to them. And even the smiler number three on the bus, as he told them, the old couple, they were like, "Oh, thank goodness." We heard all the screaming outside. Well, you picked the wrong spot.
no, exactly. But we could see this also something that that when I look at the way they were moving, the way they were actually doing, it's actually hunting. They're hunting the other ones, but they are taking the time because they know they can't escape. And that's the thing. They know they can't escape. You can see them. They were just walking slowly, like that black guy, I can't remember his name, that actually had seizure in the
Yeah.
last episode. He actually was running, and the other one just walking back, just strolling around in the woods, like they're going to pick up mushrooms or something. So. So they know they can escape. They know, and actually, I think they relish that situation when they actually try to pretend to be human to get them in a false sense of security. And another thing I realized, they seem to only be eating the inside.
Yeah, this is true. For the three characters that were under the house, there was only one man left, and that was, I think his name is Jim, right?
Jim, and maybe this is the thing. This is supposed to be the main character, but actually, I remember more the name of the not main characters. Because for me, they are much more interesting than the character that came in. Because I found the character pretty dull. I actually really
Yeah.
enjoy the other characters better. I love Zachary Donna. I love I love Boyd. I find Boyd is a great character. It's just like these characters are really good, and I found the family that came in. They're dull a bit. Come on, they're really really dull. They actually are, oh. Even though we know that actually they were planning to divorce, we knew that in last season, I think, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
I think I almost forgot about that part because
Yeah,
the daughter was super pissed that they were getting a
exactly.
divorce.
Exactly. So, but it's just like they are not that interesting compared to the other ones. So I don't remember the name, but I know it's someone who does roller coasters. That's all I remember, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. He's an engineer.
Yeah. Well, the engineer doesn't do much basically to know how to remove himself from the house, but you know. Hmm.
Well, I mean, you tried to pull yourself from under house and it's collapsed.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. I feel that if he was to be gone, there would be no changes in the story because it's not really these people who's doing something. For me, very quickly, I just realized that Boyd is actually the main character,
Yeah, definitely.
the
Um,
better actor
I wa-
too. Let's be honest.
oh, Shay.
I'm sorry, but it's true. He's a better actor, and yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I really want to know what those people who decided to just hide behind the random thing. What was that thing they hid behind while the things were stalking them? I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, get out of sight. Why are you in the middle of town with every spotlight on you, you know?
No, no. There was a lot of things like this, and well, the couple, the young couple who just decided, which is that was they were actually proper canon fodder from horror movie. This is actually the character. I was just saying, why did you write this kind of character? They're actually so out of they are not actually a character I want to follow. They were the girl was actually such a bad actress. So is the guy. He just reminded me like a 1970s show. It's just weird. It was just so weird. They just escaped someone who was just shooting with a gun, and the first thing they do is looking for drinks.
Well, I mean, what else do you plan on doing when you're stranded?
What do you plan to do?
But
But first thing you do is actually barricade the bloody door.
I mean, did they think they were in danger? I don't remember because
Someone used a shotgun. Of course they will see you in bloody
that.
danger.
I
Come
mean, come
on.
on, yeah, it's America. You know, we shoot shotguns all the
Oh,
time.
really?
Just another
Mm,
day.
mm.
But
It
I
just
did think it was. I thought it was hilarious though when they knock on the door, the things outside, and they're like, "Help, please! I was on the bus." And of course there was a lot of heroes in this episode. You
I
know,
know.
people wanted to be heroes. He's just like, "Oh, we have to help them." Didn't even look.
I
You
know.
know.
They open the door straight away. It's just what? Okay. It just remind me like that one poem where they were talking together. It just remind me of one of the scene in the Rocky Horror Picture Show when they say, "There's nothing to, there's nothing to be worried about." It's just like, what? You have screaming outside. You actually, and you're just looking for drinks. For me, it's just like it didn't make sense. Just barricade the house. Just remove the fucking lights. Just do something. Don't basically pretend that everything is fine because you're in a petrol station. It's just weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually the only characters. Let's be honest, it's the only characters where, because usually in the entire season, I don't know if you realize, for me, all the characters make decisions that actually make sense in this situation. Uh, we actually understand the decision, why they are making the decision.
Yeah.
These ones, they were dumb. They were dumb. They're just like, it didn't make any sense. You just like, I was like, okay, okay, you're dead. Good. Because you'll be the kind of people like in the last season who open the window for the, because, oh, she's beautiful. I'll offer you flowers, just like, mm. So we actually have, now we have quite a lot of characters, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think he said there was like 20 or
20,
25 people on the
20,
bus.
25. I think we lost 10 there. So let's say 15. It's safe to assume that most of the people that were outside are dead.
I mean, technically they could be alive if they hid well enough, remember?
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to go back and watching it again and counting number of screams
Yeah,
because
well,
there was a lot of them.
I think we need to start counting body counts.
No, I know, I know. But one thing I found really interesting. So first of all, we know now that these creatures are not the only things in the woods because Martin did say there is thing we're not supposed to see. So I just want to know what it is now because I'm just like, okay, at least was terrifying enough. So we got something worse? Really?
Yeah, it makes me wonder. Also, was Boyd in the lighthouse that we saw?
Don't think so. Because the lighthouse was, we don't know what it was. We don't actually know what it was. Certainly, if you went to a lighthouse, you know it doesn't look like a lighthouse. So,
I mean, I don't know, but I know that he was just I guess hopping from place to place. I find this so interesting. Like, what exactly is making them able to travel? You know, through time and space.
and there's another thing you think about, actually, the music box who appeared in the middle of nowhere and started to play this creepy
Yeah, I
music.
mean,
Again,
come on,
creepy music.
come on, sir. Like, the rope that came out of nowhere, and you think that was a mistake, but the music box appears out of nowhere, and that wasn't a mistake.
But they did say the music, they did say we're fucked when the music is stopped. So, and it's funny because looking at IMDb, because I was actually trying to remember who Abby was. Because Abby was mentioned, and I just like, and this is the issue with actually having a show that takes so long to come back, is you tend to forget some names, and I say, who was Abby? And I knew I heard Abby before, so I needed to check back on IMDb to see who it was. So it's actually the wife of Boyd, so it makes sense why she was mentioned in there. And there's an episode apparently coming up was called Pas de deux. A pas de deux is actually French for dancing move. So the music box was a ballerina, so there is something going on there that would be interesting. So there might be some stuff about dancing. Mm.
Could be. I'm really excited about this season. There's just so many things that they're
Mm.
introducing that makes me terrified. I mean, there were times in this episode where I was terrified, especially when they were under the house and
Mhm.
he heard that thing walking,
Mhm.
and then he turns around and yeah, it made me jump scare.
Me too. Me too. I was really, really like tense. I was the entire scene. I was tense, especially that character. Wait, yeah, the speaking parts is going to be paid quite handsomely for this episode. Who died, and I knew he would be dying. This character would die, but not the way I thought he would die. I thought he would have died from one of them, but he died from a hemorrhage. So
Yeah, I know. Instead,
sad.
one of my instead one of my favorite characters got killed. Who's gonna make
Was
the
it your favorite character? Was it your
one of
favorite
them?
character?
Yeah, he was one
Oh,
of
really?
them. So
I didn't see much of
yeah,
it.
uh, I, s- I don't know. There's something about a bartender, you know. And
That's
now
true.
who's gonna make the resident alcohol? You know.
That's true. That's true. This different thing that was very interesting for me is this still, despite the Freddy pretty scary, I'm sorry, but smiling people that smiles are scary in that show. It's just like when you see them smile, it's like, okay, no, 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 get away, don't. So that's one thing. But we might have started to see a bit of maybe a lore for the show, because we know it happened quite a long time ago. We actually know, and I do believe now that the autistic man, I can't remember his name, but has been there for a very long time. Might actually be one of the oldest residents of
Who,
the
Victor?
town. Is it Victor? It is Victor, yeah.
Yeah, Victor.
He was a kid when he first started, apparently, so that's going to be who first started. We don't know if it's first started there. We just know that he was a kid when actually he got stuck there.
Yeah, and it's interesting to know Victor seems to keep the same childlike, mentality.
Mm,
And it's like his mind is stuck in from when he was a kid. Like he never, even though his body
mm.
physically grew, it's like his mind didn't in a way. So that's interesting to note as well.
It is, and also the fact that we know now that he's loved to draw, and he said that actually he just draw things because when the mind forget the drawings to remember. We bring us back to the title, and actually how we see all the time was we only see drawings, we kind of childlike drawings, which is pretty much what he does. So now, can we actually say that the drawings in the title sequence is actually Victor's drawing?
I think so. And was there anything that you noticed in this this opening because I had all eyes open. Nothing really caught my
Nothing caught my
attention.
eyes at all. No, nothing caught my eyes. The only thing I actually I was thinking about for some reason, it just got me back to these creatures we saw last episode. That was who threw that stone in a cave. Like this woman that was actually like a dog.
Oh yeah, the one that was in the cage.
I wonder if it's not actually that girl that actually helped the boy go into the tree. I was just wondering now. I was just thinking, we haven't seen her yet. Very weird. Maybe it's her. Maybe she got
It
caught.
could, yeah, it could be having. Oh, I guess that's another thing. Like, why are they holding people
No, exactly.
hostage?
Hostage, no, I feel like a bit like a pet than anything else. It
Yeah,
looked like
pretty
a
much.
pet. So there's all this thing. We actually know there's things in the wood that we shouldn't. Okay, let's recalculate, like we say in French. Uh, no, we don't say that in French, but I can't pronounce it in English, so let's pretend. So what do we have here? We actually have a bunch of people stuck in a loop. They can't get out of that area, which is a woods and a town. So far, that's what we see. A wooden town. That's what we have. We obviously have some time travel because several times we've been seeing different time. They went to different times. Ooh.
Different time periods. Yeah.
Different time periods, yes. So we got that. Music seems to be important. And that's something that I realized that music seems to be very important because the music always is playing when it's safe to get out in that
Yeah.
diner.
So it seems to be what so far we know light. They don't like light. They don't
Hmm.
like daylight, I guess. And apparently they don't like music. So
Exactly. You've got, so we've got actually time travel. We've got these people, these things that actually don't like the lies. Which seems they seem to be keeping pets. For me, I'm gonna call it a pet, that woman, because for me, it reminded me of keeping something in cage, and they were playing throwing balls, you know. This is very weird, but there's that. So there's a lot of things, and now they're telling us there's something worse than that. Just like,
oh no. Yeah, there's I don't know. This show is doing a very good job at keeping me on the edge of my seat. I
mm,
really want to know what happens next. I really want answers. Can we get some answers?
yeah, no, I think, and this is something that will annoys me if they don't start to give us answer before the end of season two, because yeah, it's good to actually keep adding new things, but if you don't actually start to explain a bit what's happening, maybe that could frustrate people more. That's what happened in season two of Lost, when they kept actually, were spoon feeding us some story after like every 7 or 8 episodes, we didn't have anything. It was always flashback with nothing to give us a secret.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much like, I don't know if you've seen an interview about with Abraham, who actually was saying that he's using the mystery box when as long that the mystery box not open, you just want to know what it is. So you try to avoid opening it as much as you can. And that's, I'm worried they might be using some technique there and actually giving us more mystery, but actually no answers.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I do love a good mystery, but with the state of television shows nowadays being
Exactly.
canceled after, you know,
Exactly, and this is what I'm worried about because this is so good, and it's there's two shows right now that genuinely scares me or actually make me feel things. Which is Slasher and From. American Horror Story for a very long time now. You know what I think about it. They just lost
oh
complete track.
yeah,
They lost track completely. They just they're not even that great anymore. But these two shows are shows that make me feel excited to watch next episode. Unfortunately, these shows are not the show that people are watching. Unfortunately,
yeah. It's I feel like it's still under the radar. I have
Mm,
seen on my social feeds that a lot of people have been getting into it this season.
mm,
So it is the flagship show currently of MGM Plus. So that
mm.
gives me a little hope that it might be around for a little bit, but with the way things go nowadays, who knows?
It's been actually for the first time they just started to actually show it in France on Paramount Plus. So we actually have access now in France by that show, which is a good thing because we never know. Just like usually the show like this are not really shown in France, unfortunately. So I'm glad this is happening because it's really worth getting into, and mostly the actors are strong. All of them are pretty strong, mostly. Uh, Now we just need to see where this is going because I want to know why they are traveling when they go into trees because I would love I would love the mushroom they're having if that's not true because damn.
So, what are your predictions for the next episode?
I believe that well, we're gonna have the aftermath of it, of what happened, because there was quite a lot of death. Let's see if there was gonna be a cleanup operation, because so far I don't remember any cleanup operation in the show before. That would be interesting to see. Um, I believe the boy will actually start to have visions now, due to actually this thing, because we finished the show, the episode before. I'm struggling today. Damn. We're finishing the episode with something crawling under his skin, so we might have something interesting thing going on there because will he hide it from people?
I mean, of course, he would hide it from people. Like,
Really? I don't know.
come on.
It just remind me of a setup of a zombie movie when actually someone get beaten and don't say anything,
Exactly.
you know?
Have you ever known anyone to be forthcoming with a bite or anything? Never.
That's true.
Uh,
So there's this, and I want to see what happened in the house too, because we got these people in the house still.
yeah. Well, I think my prediction is um, there will be a lot of fallout.
Hmm.
And we might end up with a new faction. Who knows? There could be a third group. With the people from the bus.
Hmm.
Because we do have the people in the house, we do have the people in the I guess in town.
Hmm.
So they're gonna have to pick a side.
And if we should we actually should we remember also that Martin, who's what changed the world, did say he thought that the town would be the worst thing. So
Yeah,
is there
apparently the town
something
hates it.
else? Is there something else? Are they
Well,
other
I guess
people?
well, I guess this is things that we will find out in the next episode.
Let's hope so, because or not. Because that's the issue for me. It's just like, please give us some answers. Because
Please.
you actually managing to really scare me, and this is rare. This is this is really rare. And that scene with that underneath the house was really, really scary and really tense. But we need answers. We need answers, please.
Answers. So hopefully you guys join us next week,
Hmm.
same time, same place. If you do like the show, you can always like and subscribe, please. I'm
Hmm.
gonna beg.
Indeed. Indeed. So
See you.
see you next time.